that they were so comfortable with each other that they were running around in the apartment in their underwear. No. And I was like, please, how is this my business? So he was like, yeah, he's looking for somebody that they will feel so comfortable together that they can run around in their underwear in the apartment. And he also, like, sometimes when they need somebody or whatever that they can cushion is cuddle, so he wants somebody that they can cuddle together. Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. I feel like I'm always so happy whenever I'm saying hello my friends, but it's true. I'm always very happy to make these videos for you guys. Welcome back to my channel. In the last video before this video, I told you guys what's the step-by-step process for finding an apartment in Germany. If you've not seen that video, go and watch it. I share tips and tricks and all the things you should do to make sure that you get an apartment on time in Germany. Like me, I spent just 1 month looking for an apartment in Germany and I was able to get one. The process is quite long, but anyway, in today's video I will be sharing you guys, even though it took very quickly, it was very fast for me to find an apartment in Germany. I had some horror stories in the process of finding apartments in Germany because I moved a couple of times before I finally found my dream apartment. Anyway, before we get into all of that, if you guys are not subscribed, you keep coming back here, you know you like this girl, so just subscribe. It's free, okay? Click that subscribe button and click the notification bell so that you will be notified every time I post a new video. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And also, if you would like to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, you can follow me. It's at Wale Chronicles. And with that being said, let's get into the main gist of this video. So we already established that in Germany, if you're looking for an apartment, you have to sell your mother, you have to sell your kidney, you have to sell your soul to get an apartment because it's difficult. So that's already established. No, it's not true, I'm joking, of course you know I'm joking. Anyway, it's a really difficult process. I already talked about all of that in the previous videos, but I want to do a story time today and tell you guys some of the horror stories that I went through, and I'm sure many people that look for, especially women, not everybody, but there are a lot of strange people out there, so you should just beware. Listen to this story time. I love story times. They're my favorite types of content to make, actually. One of my favorite types of content. Anyway, so this story time, make sure you watch it till the end because there are 3 horror stories I will be saying in this story time. Let's say the first one will be about, let's say, the old guy. The second one will be about the young guy. The third one will be about the CIA agent. The third one is the most epic one, so make sure you watch the video up till the end to hear about the CIA agents. So the first 2 horror stories happened when I was looking for a room in a shared apartment when I was still a student. So the first one, let's say the old guy. Let's call what will we call the old guy? Let's just call him the old guy, okay? Anyway, the story of the old guy. So as I said in the previous video, if you're looking for a shared apartment, you have to be a bit more personal. You have to say a bit more about yourself and talk about your hobbies, the things you like to do and stuff like that. And then after you send the application, then you will get invited. If you are lucky, if you're one of the blessed and selected few that God has decided to smile upon your soul, then you'll be invited to the apartment with the people who live in the apartment for an interview to see if there is a fit, if there is a vibe, if you guys like get along together, so that you don't move into the apartment and find out that you guys absolutely hate each other's guts. So anyway, I was looking, of course, on WG Gesucht, which is one of the popular sites to find a shared apartment. I was looking on WG Gesucht. I was sending tons of applications. Every single time I moved and I looked for an apartment, I was sending tons of applications. And it's pretty much like a numbers game. So I mean, you might be a wonderful and good person, but there are 1 million other wonderful and good people that are looking for apartments too, so you're not that special. So even if you're special, like, they're not gonna know that you're special until they meet you, right? So anyway, I was sending like a maniac tons of applications, and then I finally got invited by this person in a very nice location, very central, and I was like, I can't believe it, this place is so central. What, they invited me? Oh my god, I was so happy. I was preparing myself like I was going for a job interview, but to be friendly and nice so that they can have mercy on me and just give me the apartment, because I was just looking, I was just tired of searching. I mean, like, I was not searching for that long, to be quite honest, but like, maybe I'm impatient, I don't know. Anyway, I went to this location. I was like, when I got to the front of the building, I was like, oh my god, this place looks so nice. Can you imagine myself living here? It was a shared apartment with one other person. So like, I went there and rang the bell, and this old guy opened the door. That was like the first strange for me. I was like, oh, okay. Why is this old guy looking for someone in a shared apartment? And why am I here? So I quickly like just sent my friend a message like, okay, girl, this is where I am. I'm doing like apartment interview, and I don't know, this old guy just opened the door and he's the owner of this apartment. I don't know, please, in case I don't come back in the next 20 minutes, this is where I am, please come and look for me. Yeah, I was a bit like, oh, okay, skeptical, but I was like, okay, keep an open mind. I sent a message to my friend to just let her know where I am. I mean, as a woman, you have to be safe all the time, right? So anyway, I went into the apartment, and the guy started interviewing me, asking me about my life history, like where I'm from, when I moved to Germany, why I moved to Germany, and so on and so forth. And I was, yeah, trying to be my friendly self, which I'm not always all the time, but anyway, I was going to be my best. I was putting on my best friendly personality, but at the same time a bit more like hesitant, because I was like, for me it's a bit strange that this old guy is looking for a flatmate. I thought it was a young person, because I don't know, but for me the concept of shared apartments is usually more common among young people. I don't know, maybe in Germany there are more old people that live in a shared apartment, I don't know, but I found that really strange. Anyway, so I was answering all the questions, trying to be friendly to show that I'm such a wonderful person. Please give me this apartment. And let me tell you, the apartment was nice. Like, it was nice. The room was massive, like the room he was giving out, and it was nicely decorated. Like, this guy got taste, let me tell you. So, and the rent was cheap. The rent was cheap. So in my mind, I was like, this guy looking like my wife or what? Anyway, so I answered all his questions, and then he said that he's going to give out the room on one condition. That's like, he doesn't really need the money, he's just looking for a flatmate, because get your mind out of the gutter. I know some of you are thinking about some things, but no, that's not what he said. That's not what he said. What he said was that he's looking for someone who can teach him how to play a particular music instrument, and is looking for someone who can play music with him in a band he's trying to form. That's why the rent is so cheap. I was like, okay, I mean, I can sing, but, but I cannot play any instrument to save my life. So he pretty much said, yeah, he really likes me, he likes my personality, but actually he's really looking for someone that can spend time with him in his band and teaching him like an instrument. I think the old guy was just a bit, maybe, I think he's retired. Yeah, he said he was retired. I think the old guy was just lonely, and he just wanted somebody that will keep him company and then do some of the hobbies that he does, which is quite a common thing in shared apartments in Germany. So people always, sometimes, not always, sometimes people like to live with flatmates that share the same hobbies, so that they can spend some time together doing the hobbies together and just like have this together feeling. But for me, when I'm living in a shared apartment, like, leave me alone, don't talk to me, mind your business, I want to just do my thing. But I don't tell them that when I'm applying for the apartment. Oh my god, I think I hope I never have to stay in a shared apartment, because I just ruined it for myself right now. Anyway, so that was strange, but the guy eventually turned me down, thankfully, because it was a bit uncomfortable, even though like I was like, this room is very nice, I would like to get it. But another side of me was like, I don't know, this is a bit strange, I don't know if I want to live with this old guy, you know. And it was just like a 2-people apartment, so he had his own room. I would have had my own room, and then there's a shared living room space. Very nice apartment, very good location, very cheap, but he wanted somebody to spend more time together, and that was not gonna be me. Well, actually, he did choose me, actually. It's not like I chose not to stay there. He didn't even choose me, because I cannot play any instrument. I cannot even sing properly. So, because I was like, no, I'm gonna look for somebody that will play an instrument. So that was the old guy apartment hunting strange story. Now let's move to the young guy apartment strange story. I don't know why, like, all these apartments, it was men that were renting it out, and I was just applying, looking for a place to live. Like, honestly, I didn't even care if it was a man or a woman. I didn't really care. I was just sending in applications like a robot. And when they invited me, that's when I will think about, okay, when I go there, when they invite me for an interview and I go there, that's when I will even start thinking about, like, oh, okay, what's the situation here? Anyway, so the young guy, again, the rent was really good. I got invited for the interview. The location was also very central. The apartment was not really as nice as the old guy's apartment, but it was also very okay, and it was like basic furnishing, and you could do all the different things that you wanted in the apartment. So when I was invited, I went for the interview, and then we actually got along quite well. Like a young guy, we got along quite well. I talked about, like, he asked me some questions, where I'm from, what I'm doing in Germany, when I moved to Germany, you know, all these questions, and I was answering, and then we were just vibing. And I asked him, of course, like, in this kind of interview situation, they're not only interviewing you, you're also kind of interviewing them as well. So I asked him some questions because he's also a foreigner, and I was asking him, like, what part of Europe is he from, when did he move to Germany, what's he doing here in Germany. He said, like, he's a doctor, la 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 la. We're really vibing until so the guy started asking me if I have a boyfriend. Wow. Then it just became weird from there. I was like, oh my god, but why? If you're looking for a girlfriend, you can go on Tinder, or you can go on dating apps. Don't be looking for girlfriends that will come and share the rent with you. Be looking for, like, free girlfriends. Anyway, he asked me if I had a boyfriend, and at the time I did not, so I was like, no. So he was like, okay, but that will I be having people visiting me, because he doesn't want to have a flatmate where people will come and visit the person and either sleep over or something. And I was like, first of all, well, I didn't do that, but in my head I was like, first of all, I'm a grown-ass woman. Like, if I want somebody to stay over, I don't want somebody else to be telling me not to have somebody to stay over. Like, I'm not 19 years old, or I'm not 16 years old. Like, what is this guy talking about? So he was like, yeah, he doesn't want anybody to come and stay over, and also he would not, like, I would not be able to register the apartment for the first 3 months, because he wants to know if the situation is going to work out for him before he accepts somebody in the apartment. For me, it was just already like, you know what, I'm not even interested in this. Like, of course, I did not say that to his face, but in my mind I was like, no, this is just, situation is too weird. Like, I'm too old for you to be giving me rules on who can come to the apartment to see me and who cannot come to the apartment to see me. Come on now, come on, boy. No. So anyway, actually he didn't offer me the apartment, because I told him, like, sorry, if I want people to come to the apartment, then sometimes I would have some people come and visit me and sleep over, sometimes not. So it was just not, at that point, it was just not working out. And then he said, like, he sent me a message later on. It was actually quite nice. He was like, yeah, he really likes my personality, he likes me so much, but he really wants somebody who will not have people visiting and will not have people sleep over. And I was like, okay, thank you very much, I don't think this is for me. And that was the end of that. As I was saying this story, I just remember another weird one. This time I did not, another young guy, thankfully I did not go for a visitation with this one. This one just stopped at communication. So I went for I was sending my application as usual. Also a shared apartment situation. Many of these strange stories come from shared apartments. So also a shared apartment situation. I sent my application, and then the first red flag, I didn't know at the time, but first red flag, this young guy said, can we talk on WhatsApp and move away from the website where to do the application to WhatsApp? So I was like, yeah, because I was desperate, and it was like, I think that was one of my first apartment search in Germany, or my first room search in Germany. I was like, yeah, sure. And then we moved to WhatsApp. This guy had the guts to be telling me on WhatsApp, hey God, I have suffered. He was telling me on WhatsApp that, yeah, he's looking for a flatmate that they can spend time together, And then he was saying like actually his last flatmate that they understood each wir haben uns verstehen ganz gut, so like we understand each other very well, we understood each other very well, and that they were so comfortable with each other that they were running around in the apartment in their underwear. No. And I was like, please, how is this my business? So he was like, yeah, he's looking for somebody that they will feel so comfortable together that they can run around in their underwear in the apartment. And he also, like, sometimes when they need somebody or whatever that they can cushion is cuddle, so he wants somebody that they can cuddle together. And I was like, look at this foolish one. Lord God Almighty, I have suffered. So I was like, okay, yeah, well, I don't think that's what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for a room. And then I just blocked him after that because I was like, this one does not even have sense. What is this? So that's the young guys story. That was when I was looking for a shared apartment. Now let's move on to when I was looking for an apartment, when I upgraded. When I upgraded and I was looking for an apartment on my own. This was like an adult search. Like I was sending my application again, like a crazy maniac. I was sending application, and then finally got invited. This is the story of the CIA agent who was trying to rent out her apartment. This is a woman, this time a German woman, trying to rent out her apartment for people. First of all, red flag number one. In the advert, she stated that she only wants people who can speak very, very good German to apply for these apartments. I don't know why I thought that was a joke, but I still applied anyway because once again, I was just applying like a maniac. If I see something that I like and it's within my budget, I'm going to apply for it. I wasn't really reading through the lines because again, like I said before, it's a numbers game. And the more applications you send, the more chances of you being invited for a viewing, and the more viewings you go for, the higher the chances that you will get something. So I wasn't really paying attention so much, but that was a red flag. So on the day of the Besichtigung, which is apartment viewing, on the day of the apartment viewing, I got there and there were already like 50 people on the queue. And this, like, I thought like, okay, yeah, 50 people on the queue, quite normal. Everybody will go in quickly, see what you need to see and bounce and decide if you want the place. But no, that was not the case. We were on this queue was moving so slow. My God, so slow. Everybody was wondering like, why is it taking so long? Like, what are they doing inside? Why is it taking so long to view this apartment? But then, you know, the situation, I forgot this theory, but there's this, I forgot the name of the theory, but there's this situation where once you already spent some time, you feel like, okay, now I cannot give up because I already spent this much time. So I need to see it through until the end. If I remember the name of this theory, I will put it on the screen somewhere. Anyway, after 1 hour of standing in the queue, I wanted to go and be like, you know what, ain't nobody got time for this. It's a Saturday, the sun is shining, I'm supposed to be chilling and enjoying my life and living my best life, but I'm here queuing for an apartment. No. I was like, okay, I've spent 1 hour here, so let me just stay longer, maybe to go faster. And then 1 hour turned to 2 hours, and I kept convincing myself. I was like, okay, now I've spent 2 hours here, let me just stay because I spent 2 hours, it doesn't make sense to leave now. And then 2 hours down to 3 hours, I was still on the queue, and I was like, there's no way I'm leaving now. I already spent 3 hours of my life on this queue. I have to see this apartment. 3 hours down to 4 hours. You better believe I was sitting on the floor at this point. I was so tired. I was sitting on the floor.
A few moments later. Moments later. More moments later. Little later. Much later. Much later. Just then.
And then it finally became like my turn to step into this hallowed apartment. First of all, when I got into the apartment, I wasn't even impressed by the layout of the apartment because it had a very strange layout. The living room was facing the Innenhof. The Innenhof is the internal courtyard, and the bedroom was facing the main street, so there were cars passing, and that layout was just a bit weird for me. So I was like, okay, not too impressive. I've seen nicer apartments than this. But I was like, yeah, okay, we've already invested our life into this situation, so let's get there. By the time we got to this apartment, like when I got close to getting in, I now realized the woman was actually interviewing every single person on the queue. No wonder the queue was the queue was going so slow. Like, she was interviewing everybody, grilling everybody. Like, she had a list. She'll ask you questions like in the Vegas situation, which throughout my apartment search in Germany, when you're looking for an apartment to live on your own, this kind of interview is actually not the norm. So she was interviewing everybody, asking questions, and I was like, damn. And she was asking in German. Ha! So I was like, damn, we have to prepare. Okay. Like, okay, ich heiße, and I was trying to practice my German. Also, ich arbeite bei la 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 la. Ich mache das und das. I was like practicing my German. I was like, damn, this one's gonna ask me a question. I was like, oh my god, like I was already like, first of all, I already invested hours of my life into this search. I'm not going to let German like ruin my chances, even though I didn't even like the apartment. It was so crazy. And then it was my turn. And the woman started asking me in German. She was like, okay, where are you from? Tell me a bit about yourself. And of course, I had already rehearsed that. So I was like, yeah, I'm from here. This is what I do. This is what I do for work. La 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 la. I just told her in German. And then she asked me, so tell me a bit more about your family. Like damn girl, like what you gotta know about my family, like. And then she was like in German. So she really wanted to see how good my German was. And I think like when she just asked me that question that I did not rehearse, at the time my German was not as good as my German is now. If she had asked me now, I will give her like a novel history of my life. No, that's not true. Anyway, so she asked me like, okay, tell me about your family. Tell me about, what other weird questions did she ask me? Yeah, then I told her about like how I've lived in different countries and everything. And she started asking me like, okay, why did I live in these different countries? I was like, damn, what is wrong with you? Are you like a CIA agent or something? It's just an apartment hunt. And if you're asking everybody all these questions, then no wonder like people are still standing outside and the queue is getting longer and it's taking forever to view this apartment. So anyway, the woman was really grilling my ass in German and asking me questions, and I think I did okay. Like, I wasn't my best self like I would be in English, but I guess I did okay, or maybe not, because after wasting hours of my life and practicing German and speaking German to this woman still did not give me the apartment. Wow, I'm still hurting about that till this day, I have to say. Anyway, those are the horror stories about my apartment search in Germany that I've experienced up to today. I know some people have actually experienced, I've heard some even worse horror stories than these ones I've told you. These ones are more like for laughter and laughing, and I've heard some worse ones than this one. I am very thankful that I've never had to experience any extreme situation. But this is the horror story, and don't be surprised, especially as a woman, if you're searching, that you will get this weird male creeps doing all those weird messages, like the one that is looking for somebody to cuddle with as a flatmate. You might end up getting those kind of people, but yeah, you just keep it moving. Anyway, that's the end of my story time. I hope you enjoyed this story time. If you've ever experienced any horror story while apartment hunting anywhere you're living in the world, leave it in the comment section. I want to hear about your horror stories. And if you watch this video up till this point, make sure you leave the comments, Canon is my camera. Because Canon is my camera. So leave the comments, Canon is my camera. Let me know that you watched the video up till this point and you are the real MVP. I love you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.